What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? This your boy Enlightened Luciferian Prince coming at y'all once again. Um, I know per my last upload, somebody was complaining about the volume, but if I'm not mistaken, when I record, my volume is always up. So it's not me. It's probably the device you're using or what you're listening to. So without further ado, before I proceed with this video, disclaimer: this does not constitute legal advice, nor does it constitute anything anti-government. The sole purpose of this video is for informational and educational purposes only. And secondly, yes, people, my videos are not for children, so if they are in your immediate vicinity, please remove them. It is what it is. Okay, just previous this week, someone was asking me a question about employment and what type of documentation to use in regards to their employment. And I'll be going over several documentations that you can use. And the reason why I wanted to start on this one particularly is because it's very vitally important to understand the verbiage that's used on this particular form. Now, what's used on this particular form actually does state that you can actually sue employer who refuses to accept documentations, even if they don't align with the company's practices in which you may be employed. One of these forms is the USIS Employment Eligibility. I got big lips, sorry, and I'm not editing this video. Employment Eligibility Verification, Department of Homeland Security, which is also known as the Form I-9. Now, it says on the form, if you look here, there's an anti-discriminatory notice at the top. You know, you can pause and you can go ahead and look at it yourself. It's the notice right there, right? Now, just to prove to you what I'm saying is true, I'll read it to you. It says, it is illegal. Notice what it says. It is illegal to discriminate against work authorized individuals. Employers, highlighted, cannot specify which documents an employee may present to establish employment authorization and identity. The refusal to hire or continue to employ an individual because of documentation presented has a future expiration date may also constitute illegal discrimination, which means that you can sue an employer, yes you can, for not hiring you based upon the documentation in which you present if you're eligible to work in the United States. That's a proven fact. That is not my conjecture. It is on the form. Read it yourself. Now, a lot of people were also asking me about something particularly that is very significant on this form. See, you have, you attest under penalty of perjury that you are one of the following. It says a citizen of the United States. Notice that the U and the S is capitalized, which means you're a 14th Amendment de facto corporate citizen. The next part is very important. On the second box, it says a non-citizen national of the United States. But notice next to that box or that indicator, it says see instructions. Now, go back to the top and read the anti-discrimination notice. That is pertaining to that particular box, which means that particularly if they deem you like, well, we can't take these documentations. Say less. Say less. See, when you realize that these things are in place and implemented and they're right before your face, you have to realize that an employer doesn't really have to take them. You're absolutely right, you don't. But just notice that you can take legal action because they can't discriminate, irrespective of the company's policies and whichever they may deem it, particularly in their instance, because they have the right to say what they will and they won't. But at the same token, it says it is illegal, which means that in that discretion, you can't even say that. You can't even say that particularly. Oh, well, you know, we can't take that. Don't just go file a lawsuit. And then once you actually do your follow-up, you hit them where it hurt. In the meantime, go find you somewhere else to work. Simple as that. So it says a lawful permanent resident, which is also an alien registration number. That's for people who hold a green card, so forth, so on. or an alien authorized to work, which is like a work permit until expiration date, so forth and so on. Now, notice when it comes to people who are asking about their rightful status. When you're asking about your rightful status, when it says a non-citizen national of the United States, now mind you, this is entered into the Homeland Security database. So everybody that's coming on these channels and talking about, well, we have to, file this type of paperwork, they already set it out for you. And I'm just pinpointing these things for you because they already set it out for you. It's already set out, it's outlined, so these motherfuckers already know who and what you are. It's all about what you put on the fucking form. You see what I'm saying? What you put on the form dictates exactly, they know for a fact, it goes into a database and they know that you are considered a non-citizen national of the United States. So from that day forward, from your understanding, whenever they ask you, are you a U.S. citizen? No, the fuck you're not. You're only a U.S. citizen by contemplation or presumption of law. Your mama didn't name you, your daddy didn't name you U.S. citizen. That was a presumption that was placed into the integral part of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. That's a fundamental fact. It said that anyone that's born, it says anyone that's born on this soil called the quote-unquote corporate United States is subject to the jurisdiction thereof. So when you hear the word subject, think about back in the days where they had, kingdoms were basically saying, well, these are our serfs, these are our slaves, this is our chattel, we own you, basically. So whenever you say you're a U.S. citizen or I'm a law-abiding citizen, you're saying I'm a good slave. That's what you're really saying. I don't give a fuck about color, origin, nationality, creed, or ethnicity. It doesn't matter. When you claim U.S. citizenship, you are saying I'm willing to bow down to the occupying power. When you say I'm a non-citizen national, that is retaining your right to be sovereign and your own individual right. You're saying I'm a non-citizen national, which means of the United States, which means I'm a non-citizen. I'm just here. I'm here to do business, but I'm not here to be taxed. See what I'm saying? I'm not allowing my personal wages and my personal labor to be taxed. That's what you're saying. I am not a good slave. I am not bowing down to nobody. No, you're not going to pimp me out. You're not going to take my money. And this is an employment form. If people don't believe me, it's right there in your face. Look at the I-9, read it carefully, go down to the part where it says you attest. When you said that you attest, that means you swear. You swear that you're a non-citizen national of the United States. And again, I'm going to read it one more time for those people that's in the back that wasn't paying attention. Anti-discrimination notice. It is illegal to discriminate against work-authorized individuals. Employers cannot, and notice the word cannot again, is emphasized on in dark. Specify which documents an employee may present to establish employment authorization and identity. The refusal to hire or continue to employ an individual because of the documentation presented has a future expiration date may also constitute illegal discrimination. So, with that being said, they can't. And y'all must go out there when you actually present this stuff to these people because they don't really read paperwork. Just like they just go by the fundamentals of just basically going through the whole slave work system. They don't read this paperwork. They just want you to sign it, fill it out, and it is what it is. But you have to go there with the competency and show these people that if you don't hire me just based upon this, you know that I can't take legal action against you for discriminating against you for this paperwork, right? Now, once they actually consent by assent to say, well, we don't wish to hire you, that's all the evidence you need to go ahead and file a suit for discrimination. See, the only way this stuff is going to work is if more people go out there with the competency and showing these people, particularly that, yes, we know what we're talking about. Even if you may not know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about because it's on the paperwork. It's on the documentation. I'm not making it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making it up. Now, when it comes to WABEN and it comes to filing 1041 and so forth and so on, all of that coincides with that because those are all tax forms. So they can't tell you what they can and can't take. And the reason why most employers won't take this documentation is because they know they can't get a tax incentive off of hiring employees because their job is to make money off you behind your back. And you just learned a very significant truth in less than 10 minutes. Simple as that. So start paying more attention to your documentation. Start paying more attention to the fundamentals of what Legalease is inside of paperwork. And stop letting these people tell you what you can and you can't do. The more you let somebody tell you that you can't do something, then you acquiesce to saying that you're not really willing to enforce it. And they're banking on that. See, when it comes to certain knowledge, a lot of people are scared. They're afraid. And that's fine to be afraid. Yeah, you don't know about something, cool. But it's your best bet to arm yourself with the proper knowledge. That way, you can present this with competency. And they're not looking at you like you got three heads. Enforce your right. You have the right to employ yourself. That's why I tell people, use an EIN number instead of a social security number. Same number of digits, same amount of digits, but you're employing yourself. You're paying yourself. Why are you letting somebody else take your wages? Now, most people are like, well, that's taxable. No, it's not. If it's a form that is devised by the IRS for you to be non-taxable, that is not something I'm protesting. I'm just suggesting that this is a more respectable route to go, because if I work, I want all my motherfucking money, period. You can call it fiat. I don't care. Chattel paper, it don't matter. Ducats, I don't give a fuck what you call it. I want mines, okay? You know what I'm saying? You're exchanging your time for what? Fiat. Okay, so why am I going to let somebody else take it? And if it ain't so important, why the hell they always after it? See, most people are quoting what I call the delusion. They're quoting the delusion because they believe that it ain't real, but obviously it's something that everybody has to use. It's a tool, it's a mechanism, it's a method of exchange, whether you like it or not. It is a system that is used as a method of exchange. That's all fiat is. So when you go do something, you see what I'm saying? As far as employing yourself, you should reserve your rights to retain your private property, which is your revenue, which is what you make. See, a lot of people have gotten into qualms with their employers, and obviously you've been looked at as trouble because they're looking out for their business interests. You need to be looking out for your business interests as well. But I shed light on that subject because when you fill out an I-9, stop calling yourself a U.S. citizen. Because particularly what you're saying is I'm a 14th Amendment de facto corporate citizen, subject to the codes, rules, regulations, statutes, and procedures of the United States Corporation. In other words, I'm a modern day slave. Simple as that. Cranberry juice. That's a fact. A lot of people don't want to accept it, but it's the truth. It is the truth. It's right there in the black and white. Like I said, if people can disagree, that's fine. Until you can show evidence to the contrary, it's right there in the black and white. This is not something I'm making up. And many people fill these out on a daily basis nationwide and read right past it. They first box they check. First box they check. U.S. citizen. First box they check. Now you have declared to the Department of Homeland Security that you are a citizen. You didn't say national. You said citizen, which means that, again, you are now subject to codes and rules. A non-citizen national has a totally different distinction from the actual observance of law than it does as citizenship is concerned, such as difference to variation from alien. Same thing. They're all different, but they all have designations as to who and what checks the box. Start reading your paperwork. Stop letting these people tell you what you can and you can't do. You have the power, you have the say so, and you provide the signature. As long as you provide the signature, you always have the power. You always have the power. Because unless it don't go until you sign. First time viewing this channel, like and subscribe. Agents, fuck you. You know what it is. Like I said, do not contact me. I do not consent, nor do I oblige. Stay tuned for the next upload. I think I'll probably just make it a surprise for the next upload, but just stay tuned. Like I said, first time viewing this channel, like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Peace, light, love. Take care.